so burpy.
That was fun.
Yeah.
All right, it is our privilege to welcome back Johnny Amendola to the Hockey Cards Gongshow podcast. He's freshly back from the Certified Diamond Dealer Conference in Orlando, right? Is that where it was? Orlando?
That is okay. Yeah, it was right in the like Disney World property, and it was cold.
It was cold, huh? Like, what?
You don't go from Canada to Florida expecting to say like, "Oh my God, I didn't bring a coat," but it was awesome.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, were there empty seats where we were supposed to be, or were we just totally not invited? Because
no, it was special Certified Diamond Dealer Conference. So only brick and mortar authorized CDDs were invited. Unfortunately, I can check and see if there's like a sponsorship or something you can pick up for next year.
Oh, there is. Yeah, sure. We want to sponsor that. Okay, so for people that are not familiar, can you kind of explain what the CDD conference is and why someone like you goes to it?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so basically, every year, Upper Deck holds their annual Certified Diamond Dealer Conference. So to give you context, the CDD program started in 2010, and it was a program that Upper Deck put out to really encourage the growth and support of brick and mortar hobby shops and like the whole user experience, the collector experience. So there's a whole bunch of criteria that you have to meet in order to, get this approval from Upper Deck. And what that means is you get to buy and sell Upper Deck hobby product, which is very exclusive to this network of dealers. So you can't buy Upper Deck hobby product at mass retail, for example. You'll find a blaster at Walmart or Target, but you won't find any hobby product. The other thing that they do at this conference, sorry, back up. That's what it takes to be a part of the CDD program and to sort of get to the conference. So 15 years later, this program is been around and is enforced to ensure that what the best way to describe it is that the certain standard is held and maintained and upkept on a regular basis. So it's great. There's a team headed up by this great guy's name is Randy that looks after a lot of that program, people coming in, and let me tell you, people going out. So it's definitely, you used the word when you introduced me, and thank you, privilege. It's definitely a privilege to be part of the program. So that's what CDD stands for, and that's what it is. So you'll see these like diamond emblem logos with the UD. I see Phil's UD logo up there, and you'll see all the shops in North America that have that. So the conference is held once a year, barring a few years, through COVID and one or two post-pandemic. And the nature of the conference is, I would say it's threefold. The first one is it's a great way to bring together all of these hobby shops under one roof with one of the obviously leading manufacturers, and really allows people an opportunity to network and get to meet other stores and talk to other store owners. And, you're sort of sharing best practices, or you might know some people because you've done deals with some people, but you've never really kind of met them. And the network keeps growing. So it's a great place to network and grow and learn. And Upper Deck brings like a whole team down. Jason, the president, who I know Phil knows himself, and Mike Phillips, who's the VP, EVP of sales and marketing, along with their events team, the production team. Man, there's dozens of them for sure. And it's awesome. You really get a chance to, the UDA team, Diane and her team are there. Tim and his team are there. These are the guys that do like autograph signings. Like, I can tell you really cool. I'm going to digress a bit. I'm sorry. If you need me to stop talking, just tell me. And it was a gong show for me getting started in here. So now that I'm here and you can hear me,
let it out.
So sometime in the last half a year, Tim pops in and Tyler, and they pop in and they're in the store, and there's a Lucas Raymond cup patch in my display case. And the Upper Deck employee that looks after athlete relations says, I got that card signed in, Russia or something. And you're just like, talk about freaking cool. Like, this guy's like, I had that sign with Lucas Raymond, and it was just so cool. So getting the opportunity to talk, and they're so open. Like everybody at Upper Deck is so uber friendly and welcoming. Like they really want the feedback. They want to hear what we're doing good, and more importantly, what we're not doing good, so we can improve on that. So that's the first, kind of point. It's the camaraderie, the networking, and just the availability of not only the Upper Deck senior leadership team, which is a big deal, but the people really making it happen. The marketing team is out there, and Mackenzie and her crew have done an absolutely stellar job. If you look at Upper Deck the last couple of years, and you just look at like the elevation and the excitement that's coming to the brand, her and her team are a lot to do with that. So that's first and foremost very cool. Secondly, is we really get an opportunity to see what's coming. So product experience is great. So they do a really good job on both the sports side and the entertainment side, letting us, letting us know what's coming down the pipe, what we can expect. And there's, a million questions all the time, is Celebrini in series 2, and will this actor be hard signed or sticker in the next Black Diamond, release of whatever. So it's really cool, and you'd be surprised, in the hockey card. Well, you wouldn't be surprised because you guys are the hockey card show. The collector base in hockey is much different than the other sports. Soccer would be almost the equivalent, where people are just so much more rabid for a team or part of a following, as opposed to a player. There's a lot more set collectors still alive and well in the hockey. So the product knowledge some of these guys that are in this network come with, and I'm not even talking about just the Upper Deck staff. Obviously, they create the product, but some of these veteran stores. There's a gentleman. His name is Francois from 450. He's breaks and hobby shop and somewhere in Montreal, Quebec area. Francois is the best. This guy is an encyclopedia of knowledge of the content in the product, the value. He'll tell you like the 2017 Spider-Man PMG to 10 sold on this date for this much, and he'll know, like it's just wild. So it's really exciting to be amongst those sorts of people when they're really coming down and saying, okay, here's what you can expect in flagship hockey this year. Here's what you can expect in DC now instead of Marvel, which is going to be pretty cool. So that part's very good, very informative. Same thing with UDA. Upper Deck has a huge memorabilia program. You got to remember, if you're looking for a Steph Curry or a Michael Jordan or a Tiger Woods, anything, you can really only get it at Upper Deck. Not to mention, everybody else. I actually just ordered a bunch of McDavid, Gretzky, and Patrick Waugh. And I'm not a Habs fan at all, but he's the greatest goalie ever. Yeah, so he's Patrick Waugh. And I love that. When I became a Patrick Waugh fan, when he skated to the bench, told the coach and left, and never went back. Well, I guess he did eventually go back. We can forgive, but we don't forget, Patrick. So that's pretty cool. And then the third part is, again, Upper Deck does a really good job bringing some amazing information and talent and just experience to the table. So whether it's a small banking advisor or security experts, eBay's there, ComC is there, PSA is there. So Pokemon. So really going above and beyond to really help and ensure that their hobby shops have as many tools as possible to be successful.
Okay. Great overview. Thank you. I feel like I understand a little bit better now. So now is the part of the program where, because there's lots of little birdies that fly to our window and tell us stuff. And this is where I pump you for it. We've had lots of little birdies in the last few days.
Grill them, Josh. Grill them
and talk. And this is
I love the little birdies.
And then you tell me. I don't want to get in trouble if you can plead the fifth on anything. So, well, you kind of already talked about one thing. Let's get big. So Celebrini is confirmed for Series 2, right?
So I think same little birdies that you heard chirping are the same little birdies I heard chirping.
Okay. And a lot of people have said
It'll
Mitchkov
be
too,
it'll be a fun
don't.
one.
But I don't believe. I would assume Mitchkov will be an extended. Is that your assumption as well?
Yeah, so I don't know for sure. I actually took a call during that topic, but I'm pretty confident you're going to see Celebrini before you see. I have a hard time with his last name. I'm going to say it because I'll get ripped of it. But Mitchkov, you'll see him. I think maybe after.
Did they tell you print runs of acetate cards? No. I thought I'd ask.
So one of the
you could get a calculator and try the math. I think it's impossible. So yeah, no, definitely not.
And then we can use like wink talking here too. But I have heard from a number of people that were in attendance that as certified diamond dealers that they were excited about what Upper Deck is doing moving forward, that they feel like it aligns better with what hobbyists want. And I should say too, I kind of think like as your role there is you're really a proxy for the hobby because your job is to deliver what the hobby wants through Upper Deck. And so I assume a lot of the feedback that goes back to them is sort of on those lines. But one of the things, Johnny, that we've heard constant, I'm just curious on, we've heard a lot over the last few months. And I'm not saying this is the situation at Mint Inc., but a lot of hobby shops are sitting on tons of wax and they're nervous about it and they need to move it. Was that a topic that was brought up to Upper Deck at all? And like strategies to, I'll give you an example, which I know they won't do, but like I love the Fanatics MVP buyback program. I would love for Upper Deck to do something similar with like maybe the Hart Trophy winner and or call it like Art Ross and Rocket Richard, where whatever these four products, you bring in a base card, it's $20 credit. Because what we know happens, right? If somebody comes into Mint Inc. with 3 Nathan McKinnon cards, gets a $60 credit, they're buying a $300 box. Right. And then that's how it's worked with Tops and Fanatics. So I'm just kind of curious if there's because it is there's a lot of wax hanging out there, we know.
Yeah. So okay. So first and foremost, the first thing you said about the level of excitement, I think that a lot of people left a lot more excited than maybe last year. I get an opportunity to be privy to some more information and be a part of some other chats. And I can tell you that there is a vested interest from Upper Deck. Obviously, they get it. They've been around for a very long time. They're very good at what they do. To really continue to be innovative and bring excitement back. As far as excess wax goes, I mean, at the end of the day, if you remember my first time on the show, I let you know about sort of my background in the world of print and media. So like we closed a very fruitful publication down post-COVID because the cost of paper and time on the press had at 1.5x. Like if you remember the cost of lumber, everything else. So some of these commodities and textiles have never, gone back to pre-COVID levels. If there was 50 printers 10 years ago, there's 10 today. It's interesting, like vinyl records, believe it or not, there isn't enough capacity in North America anymore to print the demand as they come on back on the up. So when Upper Deck's trying to get caught up, too many releases at once, that can kind of happen. We're almost back to normal now, and I'm pretty confident by the end of the year we'll be back on a regular schedule. I can tell you that Upper Deck is not interested in putting out 100 releases a year. Nobody wants that. They're interested in very much putting out the right amount of the right product that collectors want and a quality, timely product. So I mean, having said that, we also have to really take into consideration where the space was maybe 2020, 21 into 22, and how things have changed, how you manage that, how you project for the future, how you order today for a year. Like I'm ordering Series 2 in months ago without knowing if Celebrini or Mitchkov or anybody's in it. So there's a lot of factors, not just we printed too much product all at the same time. Yeah, that happened because of the fact that we had to kind of catch up. But I would say there's a lot of factors that really. Now that said, you can go on my website and some other websites, and there's some really good deals right now onto things like 21, 22 ice as an example. And same time, it is what it is. I can argue the same thing. The price of the Bedard box was beautiful, and it still is kind of where it is. So again, I think that there's a lot of juggling in any business that you just have to do anyway. And I think at the end of the day, the market is the market. Like, I wish I bought Bitcoin when it was 25,000, and then maybe I wish I bought it when it was 60, and then when it was 40, I was happy that I didn't buy it at 60. So I mean, it's just about adjustments and corrections at that point. But yeah, how we got there, I would say, is a combination of many things. But short answer, 80, 60, 50 releases a year, 40 releases a year of hockey cards is not what Upper Deck is after. Not at all.
Johnny, did you guys talk about wins and losses in the hobby? And you mentioned Series 2 for last year. Was that perceived as a win or maybe a loss? Or were things maybe distribution could have been approached differently? Or was Upper Deck happy with the way things rolled out?
So yeah, so there's lots of just like chatter amongst the people. So that's not a topic that was actually on sort of any agenda or anything. But I would say overall, like the consensus overall is 2024 was a huge year for the hobby. Like not just hockey cards. Like, you guys want to talk about Pokemon for a second? Like, let's talk about TCG. Right. But Phil,
I know
Pokemon might have a bigger year than Bitcoin this year. So I mean, like,
I think it will.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that overall the consensus is 24 was very good, and 2025 is going to be very healthy. Like I'm sure Josh will ask me the question about some new products and this and that, and there's a couple of things that I'll touch on. But yeah, I would say, Phil, overall we're winning, and I would say that there's some great changes to some products and some some new stuff, and you're going to see in the next 12 to 24 months, you're just going to see it better. What I can tell you with 100% certainty, because I'm part of it, is Upper Deck is very, very, very good to open the doors and listen. And I can tell you, over the course of the last year, since I've, I guess, been at that table, deliver. Okay. So I'm a guy that talks a lot. I know me and you have that in common. And I tell people I talk so much. I never want you to catch me with my foot in my mouth.
Yeah.
So I can tell you in like, again, with confidence, that they are very, very, very receptive and open to feedback. And they're very, like you said it, like, we're the ones dealing with the end consumer. We're the ones that the shop owners are the ones that are going to bring them back. Hey, this is what collectors want. This is what collectors don't want. So they get that, and they're very, very good to listen and make change.
Well, one of my famous sayings from my corporate days was, "First rule sales: find out what people want and do that." And
bingo.
You'll typically be successful. So, like, on the product configuration, I know you're not going to share anything, but we do have birdies, and so the sense that I get is that Upper Deck is going to cater a little bit more towards breaking, create a little more higher, like higher end products, move products like ice to a 1-pack box from, get rid of maybe a lot of the base cards, and maybe do some catering on the breaking side, and be where they, kind of dip maybe their toe in that water, as far as, like, where Fanatics has gone all in, right? They have like Breakers Delight products and all this stuff.
Right.
Did you get this sense, as a guy who does breaks, you have Breaks After Dark, check them out at mintink.ca, of course.
Thank you.
That, is that kind of the sense you get? And is that a direction that you'd like to see them go?
So, I don't know for fact, but I would say that, again, as we really provide more information that says, this is what collectors want, and Upper Deck identifies that there are different types of collectors, they're gonna do more things and more exciting things to cater to all these different audiences. So if it's if it's breakers or if it's hobby shots, if it's live events. I'm pretty confident that, you know, we're going to see some more of that. I would love to see some more mid-tier, you know, fun stuff. Like Black Diamond is absolutely beautiful. I love Black Diamond. Upper Deck has some, you know, if you follow the history of Upper Deck, I mean, you really see it on the Marvel and some of the other entertainment brands with all the flair and flare and metal. Like I'm gonna throw it out there, but like DC metal universe is gonna be wild.
Yeah.
We could talk about how DC hasn't had a property since like '93 in a minute, but I would just say to that I'm very confident that Upper Deck is going to continue to put forward and bring forward more innovation, more like what you expect in the hobby today from any manufacturer. I think that we're going to start to see some more of that kind of stuff, and you might see some more fun products that'll be way more, you know, live stream friendly, so to speak.
So
but I wouldn't say, sorry, just to be clear, I wouldn't say that you're going to see anything like any kind of line of breaker. Like, I can tell you that as much as Upper Deck, and this is what I love about Upper Deck, and I can tell you the other manufacturers are following suit. Hobby shop, the customer experience, the collector experience is always going to be first. And that's why I'm such a big supporter of Upper Deck. People ask me all the time, why do you do this? Why do you do that? You go to these. Like, no, yeah. Like, I know what we built and I know why I built it. And that's so important, or I would have just never left my studio. I would have just stayed in the studio 5 years later and that would have been it. But that's not what it's about.
If I was in your shoes and I owned a shop and I got the chance to communicate to Upper Deck, and it's none of this is like bad, like, you know, problems are opportunities always in business, right?
Agreed. Yes.
And one of the things that we always hear when we talk to Upper Deck, like we'll talk to a product manager about artifacts that comes out, and they'll a lot of times, well, almost always, they'll say, "Oh, it's so hard to remember 24 artifacts because I'm working on, you know, 2042 artifacts already." And it's like they have such a huge lead time in products, and what I always think of, going back to my product days, is it's really hard to respond to changes in the marketplace when, if I want to implement some sort of trend or change that I think will benefit the customer, but it won't be seen for 2 years. You know, that's you're always behind the curve from that. And I know that there's
lagging indicator
logistics, but is that something that you or other shops have communicated with them to try to, and I know they don't do it on purpose,
sure,
right?
Of course. Yeah. So yeah, like I said earlier, like, you know, being caught up, having the right amount of releases, having timely releases, having, you know, being able to communicate changes and timely and all that is something that, you know, everybody wants, including Upper Deck. And again, I remain very confident that, you know, by the end of 25, we'll get there. It is a huge machine. And imagine the demand in the hobby has just grown so much. So there is like you said, there is a lot of moving parts, and some of it's just not in their control. Some of it is, you know, but I'm pretty confident. Like, I want to be able to sit here a year from now and say, you see, like, I don't want to just be like the guy that came on here and just made Upper Deck sound great, because I think they are great, but we all can be better. And that's where I come back and say again, like for the umpteenth time, like they're definitely committed to that. So the next couple years, you're going to see a lot of these changes. I'm staring at. Let me show you 1 second. Like, this is pretty cool. I got to put this up, but where is it?
Oh, that's cool.
Nice. Yeah.
Nice. DC Universe. Like, think about a Batman PMG. How cool is that going to be?
Not too bad.
I think I can say that. Like, I'm pretty sure the DC stuff is out there. I mean, there's that.
Yeah.
So I mean,
announced.
I bought a Foghorn. I bought a Foghorn Leghorn red.
Right? Like, amazing. Yeah, Warner Brothers is awesome. But so on the entertainment side, I'm super. So on the sports side, to your point, Josh, yes, we're going to get caught up. Yes, we're going to be timely. No, we're not going to have a million releases a year. Yes, yes, some great changes coming sooner than you might think. Some not as soon as you want, but again, I mean, I'm nobody, but I can just tell you how I feel about what I hear and see and I'm a part of. And I think all of those are boxes that Jason, Mike, the team at Upper Deck, especially, the production team. I know Billy's on here all the time. Billy's amazing.
Yeah.
That's what they want. These guys are, Phil, you got to understand, like these Upper Deck guys are real collectors. Jason, the president of Upper Deck, used to own a shop, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure that, Phil. I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
All right.
I got strung up and hung pretty good, eh?
No, I'm just throwing that. Like I said, I got little birdies too.
Listen, I can be mean back. I can be mean.
No, nobody's mean. It's all good. We're having fun. I think it's great. You know what? That just means that everybody's doing something right. So what I can tell you, Josh, is also the entertainment side. Upper Deck is really the partnership with the AEW is wild. I'm not the biggest wrestling fan. I left Orlando saying, I mean, I PC Hulk. Where's the Hulk?
Oh yeah,
right there. But I was a wrestling fan.
It's a weird thing to say when you got that frame.
I loved Hulk Hogan growing up, Johnny.
So
that's something we
growing up, I was the biggest Hulkamaniac in the world. So I collect Hulk Hogan from when I was 10, not the 45-year-old version of me and Hulk Hogan. But we got to experience, talk about the ultimate experience. So one thing Upper Deck does really well at these events is entertainment. I'm sure you saw my video with Jeremy Roenick. We were at this cool ale house. This Einstein place at Disney Springs was so cool. And we did this big break and Roenick was there. It was tons of fun. The next night, they carted us off on all these big shuttles to Universal Studios. And we got to watch a full 4-card AEW live event. That's awesome. So Universal Studios set up the ring, all the lights, the ref, the Dell, the music, 300 seats, bleachers, and we're watching a live wrestling event. It was so awesome. The next day, Paul White, the Big Show, was the keynote speaker, and he was amazing.
Like the Big Show?
I mean, the Big Show was the keynote speaker, and he was so good.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, so good, right? So, I mean, like, on that side. And then, of course, DC, like the last time DC had trading cards was in the 90s, early 90s. I'm really, really, really excited about Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman. And remember, Batman and Superman are still two of the top 3 superheroes. Like Spider-Man is in there and that's it. Not Iron Man, not Captain America. Like Batman and Superman are the 2 of the top 3 biggest superheroes of all time. And I can tell you that, Billy and the production team have some amazing stuff in store. Like, just think about some of the brands that exist. Like, okay, let me ask you the question. If you could pair up any 3 Upper Deck brands that you know of with the DC universe, what would you want? Besides flagship, because we got to have flagship.
Well, metal would be the obvious choice, and then probably platinum or Allure.
Imagine a Batman. Did I say that earlier? A Batman PMG. Great.
Or a Batman Seismic Gold, something like that would be.
Enough with the kid stuff. Listen, we're the distributors there. We're Universal and Grosvenor there.
This guy's awesome. Hold on, I want to. What else? So Black Diamond. I mean, metal. Yeah, you said
metal, Allure, and or one of the 2, Allure and platinum, and then maybe some sort of like retro, some sort of retro set.
That would be really cool. Yeah. So I mean, I'm pretty sure like a lot of that fun stuff. Again, like, I mean, just look at the success. The last couple of years worth of Marvel releases through Upper Deck were all amazing products. Like, we can't keep a lot. The Spider-Man renditions that just came out, 92 masterpieces. We can't keep that stuff off the shelf. Now, I'm a Marvel fiend. I'm really, I'm excited for X-Men 97. It is what it is. Too bad that wasn't some PMGs, but I'm really excited for the DC universe. James Bond is another big one that's coming down the pipe. Black Diamond, we have that on pre-order, and they got some big signatures. Let me throw that out there before I let Phil go, and I'm good for that. The one thing you got to remember, and this is a double-edged sword. So when we talk about production stuff, Everybody wants hard signed autos.
Yeah.
A lot of Upper Deck products, especially the mid and high end tier, we pride ourselves in the fact that they're hard signed autos. That is not an easy feat. And in today's world, if you know about athletes and their agents and the way they work, it's not getting easier. If you like, you see Panini suing athletes all the time for autos. So you want sticker autos in the cup? Maybe we'll get it faster. I don't want sticker autos in the cup.
No.
So again, just logistics in general, post pandemic, still kind of aren't all the way back. So just
can I push back there though? In a way,
please.
I agree with everything you say. I don't nothing you said isn't true, but you have to. But sometimes the biggest opportunity lies within the hard stuff. So I'll give you and I think that you can achieve this through product delineation, right? So if I was the president of Upper Deck for a month, here's the biggest change I would make. I would make SP game used actually game used. Number one, like I would like make the product because it's hardly ever game used in that. It's a lot of manufactured, right? And I think that if Upper Deck, and this would be super hard, I get it, can move with a few product lines to get to the point where you can put like a patch auto on a card and you can say this Connor McDavid patch is game used and was worn on December 14th, 2024 in a game where they won 3-2.
I like, yeah.
And McDavid had 1 goal, and holy moly.
Random
Tuesday.
The hobby loses its mind.
We did talk about that, so I can tell you that was definitely talked about. Do you there's a really small manufacturer out of Europe called Kutera. Small, they've been around for a long time. Football, soccer cards. And they're expensive boxes with like 4 packs, a couple cards in each. And you hit a patch and it'll say, this Ronaldo patch was from a jersey worn in a Manchester United game on 2015, November 7th. So again, people want to cut up on licensed stuff. We all want to do that. The Topps Wemby set that came out, that very expensive Wemby set, the one card in there that was the most sought after, I don't think was the 101. It was the debut jersey. We got 25 pieces of the jersey Buddy wore in his very first ever NBA game, and that's it.
Awesome.
So I agree with you 1,000% there. And you know what? We can hope that happens for sure.
So John, do you hold on? Sorry, Josh. Do you feel personally, because you're a shop owner, would you rather a product with good inserts or sticker autos? Just forget the conference, forget everything. Just as an owner of a hobby shop, do you think sticker autos?
I would say. I mean, like my personal opinion is. I mean, it really depends on the player. I think that Pavel Bure, you might see some of those finally coming in. Like, it's one of those things where like you want to wait 10 years to get it. Can we get it now? But I love jambalaya. I love downtown. So I love stained glass. So I do believe. And here's the thing, I'll give you, their Upper Deck has a lot of these super short print inserts in products like Metal Universe Champions and Goodwins that we don't know about. So we could probably do a better job saying, hey, you don't know this, but that's actually short print to 75 just because it's not numbered. So I think that I like good inserts, case hits, hard signed autos. But if you told me I could get I don't know, find me a guy that hasn't signed something in 15 years or, somebody that's passed away. So like, do we get Gretzky to sign 1,000 stickers so that post hominis Gretzky cards can still exist?
Yeah. Okay, I have 2 questions along, like follow-up questions. Like, well, first of all, I'll give the example that Phil and I talk about along the lines of his question a lot. We look at like 23-24 Allure hockey, right?
Set of the year.
Phil and I love that set, love it so much. I pray for I do not want an auto in that set because it's going to be some like crappy sticker auto of a rookie I'd never heard of. I want a doubloon. Give me it. If I get
that's a great insert. Very underrated. Allure is my partner Freddie's favorite. I think I'm with you guys. It is so underrated. We talk about that too this week. I think Allure, like, what a price point for Chromium.
Yeah, but the sticker autos ruin it, and it's almost an objective opinion. It's almost an objective opinion.
No, but here's my second follow-up that I wanted to get to. What we've heard from many shop owners for years now is that if the average quote unquote or typical consumer comes into your shop and buys a box of Allure and rips it because you have a beautiful place where you can absolutely do that, and they get a doubloon, they're like, "How come I didn't get an auto?" And they freak out, right? And so at the end of the day, it's
So it's
really
an educational thing. So
Yeah.
if you know, if you follow Prism, so Prism has done a really good job, especially now with all the controversy, really promoting the fact that you're not buying a $1,000 Prism hobby box to chase autos. You're chasing the color. You're chasing the golds, the blacks, the finites, 101s, the reds, the blues. So I think that that's also something that is definitely being discussed. Like, you know, it's not a new topic, and I think it's something that again, you use Prism as a really good example. Like, there's no Wemby autos in Prism this year, but you can get a Wemby black or gold, and it's worth a crap ton.
It's a great comparison. It's I cannot stress it. Like, I have a couple of buddies that just started collecting last year. Sticker autos didn't bother them. I can show you a text from last week. My buddy Matt's like, "What is this crap sticker auto?" He hasn't even been collecting a year. That's how fast, right? But if the sales say otherwise, it's hard to argue. Black Diamond was $500 last year. Ugh, right? Like that's rough, man. For sticker autos, that's a premium product. You should be getting a hard auto or no auto.
We also, that's the other thing, like that's unfortunate for us. You know, the exchange is not helping anybody. So the price of boxes, like, so like, I mean, all the product comes from the States. So if the dollar's down 20 or 30 cents in the last 6 months, your local hobby shops are, you know, their margins are
Well, you guys
so we got to take.
You had series too. That's okay. You can.
No, I'm just saying we can't just have one win. But I'm just saying things. I guess my point is there's a lot of factors that are in nobody's control that come into the business every day, right? That determine so many things.
Mm-hmm. What was out of the conference that you're able to talk about? What was on the sports side, the thing or things that you're most excited about?
I think there's going to just be a lot more innovation. I think there's going to be a lot more subtle and maybe not so subtle changes. Where I think especially guys like you are going to say, okay, that's good. You know, more stuff that the little birdies, more stuff that the little birdies want to see. I think the only thing we have to remember, and it's tough, and you know, you said it earlier, slowly is really the fastest way to get anywhere, unfortunately. And we want to make sure, I want to make sure, I mean, from the perspective of I've got to give the collectors that, you know, Upper Deck does it right. And I think that they are, like I said, I can tell you, talk about a committed group, man. These guys and girls are committed. They love the hobby. They love what they do. They know the products. Some of the relic stuff, some of the memorabilia and some of these products that you're going to see, like, these guys will go to the ends to get stuff.
You could look
and
at
I gotta say that
you could look at it. Fanatics is like a behemoth, and they make a mistake, they just respond. So Fanatics is reacting, where Upper Deck is more responding. Maybe
sure.
Look at it.
I got what you're. Yeah. I mean, Upper Deck has been around for a long time. They have the path set in front of them, and you know they're a little more laser focused for sure. But I would say that, Josh, just knowing that, you know, some of this stuff is coming, and the products are getting better. I'm really excited on the entertainment side. Like, I mean, I know this is the hockey card show. I mean, I don't have to show you, but I'm going to show you, like, this whole cabinet is like, that's all just toys and Transformers. And there's another one over there. So, like, I mean, the more the merrier.
He-Man? Who has the rights to He-Man? Mattel, eh?
I don't. Yeah, that's a good one. I don't even know. But that could be another really good one.
I have another philosophical question for you that's sort of along the lines of the autos and sticker autos. I want to talk about Wayne Gretzky, and you know, you have to tough question to answer, but do you think it would be a net positive to limit the amount of sets that Wayne Gretzky is in. I kind of feel like Upper Deck feels like they have to put him in every set to satisfy people, and they might. I mean, that just might be. But if he was in like 1 or 2 sets a year, I think people would go bananas.
So you'd
for Wayne
rather have like,
Gretzky.
yeah, like, I mean, how tough it is to find, like, you got a Jordan potential for a Tiger auto in golf, and I think there was 5 of them or something. I have a Gretzky right here. This is a really cool Gretzky. This is a 99 year in review patch.
Oh yeah,
This is a
beautiful.
really cool card.
Yeah, there he is. Atta boy. Good job, Johnny.
Just throw that out there.
That's on Cherry John. He's popular in Canada.
So they had a whole CBC documentary on him, but they might have been canceled. So sorry, what was your question again?
How do you feel? How do you? Oh God, you know.
Oh,
I'm glad we worked together because he fit right in. I love it.
Dude,
wait till you get me and Phil on a Friday night together.
Oh God,
the world can't handle that.
that might have to be like a private video or something.
It's in my contract, Phil. I made sure. No, if I don't get my time with Phil, I don't renew.
As a shop owner, if Upper Deck came to you and said, we're going to only put Wayne Gretzky cards in 2 sets a year, what would you think about that? Would you think that, that's actually a good thing, or would you be nervous about that?
I mean, I would say that, we start to get Ovi and Crosby. The more those 2 guys sort of start to fade, maybe, I would say he doesn't need to be in all the sets for sure. Maybe 2 is not enough. But yeah, I get what you're saying. We could create some scarcity around him. I know that, I want to say, not for the conference, but like through someone, apparently, like, the amount of stuff that he could sign before versus now has changed and all this kind of stuff. Like, I don't follow all this, but that's a whole other world, not my thing. But it's like, where it's huge right now. Like, all these manufacturers are chasing NIL athletes, and you can sign cards, but you can't sign pucks, and you can sign jerseys, but we can't use that jersey. Like this, like, oh, we made this jersey, so you can't use it. So I don't really know. But from a scarcity point of view, I would say he's still Wayne Gretzky. I would say as long as Crosby and Ovi are retired, like, yeah, definitely, like, he should be in the higher end sets and maybe the odd Easter egg, in my opinion. But I think that when Crosby and Ovi retire, especially when Ovi beats the record, I think those guys in the next 10, 15 years for collectors are going to do the same for, like, Hasselhoff's going to want a Crosby auto. Me or you want a Gretzky auto.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was there a specific talk at the conference about OV and the record, and like that there's like a plan for that?
I would just say that Upper Deck's very aware that Ovi's going to potentially beat the record.
Be weird if they weren't.
So,
do they have
I would say,
do they have a good relationship with the NHLPA where they can nurture these types of
unbelievable? The NHLPA and the PA and the ladies PA and Upper Deck, the relationship is so good. So good.
What a good bridge across for the jersey.
Right, huge.
Right? Like,
think about the cup, Phil. Like you'll never see, like, the cup. It's got to be the cup. Or the NHL, you can't have a product that's higher end than the cup.
No.
Really quickly, because this is a hockey card show and a hockey show, the PWHL is going to be fire. Don't sleep on it. First edition. I think a lot of people are sleeping on it. These ladies are tearing it up. The stadiums are sold out. More people are watching PWHL than MLS. I just think you don't sleep on it. It's going to be pretty exciting. And I know that. I think
that the league champions are Minnesota.
Yeah. That's right.
I can't remember the name of the cup, but yeah, we won.
Or the players.
So I think when this show hits, Synergy already came out. So there's Synergy, but PWHL, I think it's next week or the week after. I have to check. I saw 3 checklists today. There's a few new releases coming out in the next couple of weeks for sure.
What's the starting point on that, Johnny? Couple hundred or
Synergy?
No, for the PWHL.
You know what, Phil? I should know. I don't even know, because we just put it for free. I'll tell you right now.
100, Phil.
Yeah, it should
I'll
be
tell you one sec.
flagship price, right? Flagship price, 140.
I am going to tell you.
Yeah, I'm
In
curious.
1 second.
I'm excited for
Not
Synergy,
bad.
Johnny. Have you seen some of the
Oh,
cards?
really?
Oh,
So Synergy. No, it's my screen. Sorry, Phil.
okay.
Synergy, whatever we did earlier on when I came into StreamYard from the desktop, it's still not working.
Oh boy.
Shoozle.
Synergy looks really
okay,
good,
wait.
man. Well,
I
it
can't
looks
get
better.
here. I can go to the back end. Synergy is a cool product because it's got so much nifty stuff in it. Like the inserts and everything else are just so cool. I like it, and the price point's generally pretty good too. Hold on, I'm gonna get you PWHL. I just have to go on my back end because this screen to my right it's the remember in the middle of the night when we were kids, the fuzzy screen. Somehow I got fuzzy screen. PWHL. There we go.
Phil, that stands for Professional Women's Hockey League. In case you didn't know.
If I thought about it, Josh would have figured it out.
I think it'll be probably in the 135 to 150 range.
Okay, good, appropriate.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good way to get girls into hockey cards because we want a girl on our podcast. So maybe I'll buy
50 card. This product, collect the first PWHL Upper Deck flagship. With this product, there is a base set of 50 cards. The first ever PWHL Young Guns 20 cards, 70 card set. They will have deluxe exclusives and high gloss and numbered and 101s. Boom. Box break on average, 3 Young Guns, 2 Dazzlers, 2 Portraits, 1 Young Guns Outburst Parallel. Bang. There you go. We'll have it available for pre-order by the weekend, and I think it releases in a couple weeks.
Would it be the Young Gun in French would be un louve? Isn't that a female wolf?
I don't think there's going to be any more. You got the acetate for that. But that was another big point of topic at the event. We talked a lot about PWHL and how exciting that league is. So yeah, Phil, the relationship that Upper Deck has with both the NHL and the PA is exceptional. Awesome. They're there. They talk at the event. They're available for the whole time to talk to people. Upper Deck as part of. So here's a good one that the other manufacturers don't have to do or don't whatever. Upper Deck is present at every single NHL event. So the Combine, the Draft, the All-Star Weekend, the Winter Classic, and Upper Deck has an amazing activation at these events. So they're really going out of their way to try and bring more and more collectors into the hobby.
Will they be there? Four Nations Cup? Do they have access to that? Or that's
that I don't. You know what? I don't know that. I don't know that one.
Curious.
So.
I'm
moderately interested in that, so it's okay.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
All right, well, that is good info on the conference. I do want to spend some time though talking about Medink. Of course, got to do that, right? Got to do that.
You guys are closed today, eh?
No, we're back open. We only close for inventory one day. I close like 3 days a year. The day, I guess it's 4. The day after Toronto Expo.
Yeah.
Christmas Day. And 1 day for inventory because we do it in the night and over the weekend. I would like just not ever want to close. I would like to see, and you're going to see it. It's going to happen before the end. It's going to, well, we're pretty close. The office opens at 8 and the streams in the store like will end by midnight. So we're close. We've done a 24-hour stream twice. We'll be 24/7. We'll be 20. Yeah, we'll be 24/7 by the end of the year.
Good for you, man.
What's the big initiative for Mint Inc. this year?
What do you
hope to accomplish?
Let's see. We're going to drop these rope hats are going to come very limited. Have a whole new merch line coming. Honestly, we have so much planned for this year. I was talking to my leadership team today, and I kind of sent them spiraling. We've got I'm bringing in a few more product lines, some new stuff. Legos coming to Mint Inc. Saturday morning cartoons is coming to Mint Inc. We're really obviously ramping up Upper Deck. Very excited. Hockey breaks. We're going to be back there very soon. Wow, we're scaling up our eBay. We've partnered with some great people like Slab Sharks on the consignment side, but we do Freddie's buying daily. Freddie and Aton spend the money every day. We have buying events, all this stuff. So we turn over a ton. Hundreds of slabs are featured weekly. So our Monday night featured auctions, our own inventory is quite substantial. There's always lots of great deals there. We're going to crank that way up. And just a lot more in the live event side of things. And you might see us spread our wings a little bit, maybe outside of the GTA. Who knows?
Woo!
Okay.
Hey,
We should mention too that, like, if you're interested
Maybe.
in selling your stuff to Mint Inc., that you guys do buy stuff, that you can make appointments on your website to do that. You guys have
Yeah.
specific
Or
times.
yeah, if you're not local, there's a portal there. You can throw it in there. Team will get back to you. All that kind of great stuff. And you know, FedEx is awesome. It goes everywhere. So we buy stuff, whether it's local, walk in, whatever you need. And then of course the live stream is really, you're going to see us really ramp that back up. There was a point in time where we were live 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. We're gonna get back there.
How did your
You guys
lead
also have a
team-
trade night on Friday too, right?
So we upped the trade nights to twice a month, and we upped our kids collector days to twice a month this year. So we've got, between our own internal events and external events, I think it's like 70 events this year.
Oh, wow.
Between all the local trade shows. Yeah, we're a growing team. We're over 20 staff now. I wouldn't be surprised if that's double by the end of the year. My mandate, as you know, is to create the ultimate hobby experience in Canada. Everything we do, we go all in every day. We put it out there. It's for the greater good of the hobby. I spend so much money marketing. The ads go all over. If somebody in Ottawa sees the ad and they're not in Ontario, they're walking in out of the box. I love that. I don't care. It's just good for the hobby. I want that camaraderie. I want that synergistic approach to continue to come to fruition. The more, and that's where great things like this conference really, because you know, there's people I'm sure that don't get along, and then they meet each other and like, why don't I like you? Or why don't we talk? Or why do I hear like, who friggin' knows? Like, it's like when you're dating, you know, when you're 14, 15, oh, you send a note in class or something. Well, note in class now, it's like all about Snapchat, but you get it. So I think that you know, that's what we're about, just the ultimate experience. So we're just gonna double down on that, and you're gonna see you know, the last 5 years were such a fun ride. Never had so much fun in my 25 plus year professional career, and whether it's been working for corporate or my own businesses. And you know, there's days that are tough and all that kind of stuff, but man, it's fun. And I love excuse me, wow, I love the people because they're so like-minded. That's a great thing I love about the community. So short answer, Mint Inc. is committed. My mandate for Mint Inc. is to just double down on the hobby experience in Canada. And I hope that everyone else in my shoes just does the same thing.
No, I you know, you are a force of nature in a good way and a positive for the hobby, and I think that you know, the hockey hobby in particular, you know, can benefit from the type of innovation that Mint Inc. is offering, and so we're very, you know, pleased and happy to partner with you guys and to, you know, do what we can to help spread the word.
You
And then,
guys
you
do
know,
lots.
and obviously we're grateful for your support too, because that enables us to do what we do as well. So
Well,
good
I appreciate
partnership.
you guys. I'm very you know, Mint Inc. is very particular. I stay in my lane. I'm very careful with who gets in the car with us on this journey. And I love the fact that you guys are in the limo. We get to ride together in the limo. So it's exciting to be a part of what you guys do. And you know, Josh, you and I have had lots of great chats, and I'm really excited for what you guys have planned this year. And I'm excited for Expo to get you guys back down here again. And I'm excited to get on a Friday show with Phil and crack some slabs.
Anytime. There's always an open door policy for Johnny.
Let's do that. All right, buddy. We'll go rest your voice. Thank you for your time. We really appreciate it. And we'll
cheers,
chat
guys.
with you soon.
Yeah. Take care, guys.